Alright, we're out at the range today, and we have the Thompson Center Hawken, the rice barrel, paper patch bullet, and we are going to shoot at 200 yards. This will be the first round, 200 yards. I have an initial dope set on this rifle. We'll see how it goes. So I'm loading right from the gun pouch here, and here's what my hunting loads are going to look like. I'm going to try to not wipe. This is the 450 grain Buffalo Arms paper patch. The patch has been contaminated with oil from this ox yoke wonder wad, but I think that's okay. I got a grease cookie, a card wad, and 70 grains of 2F Swiss. Distance is 200 yards, and let's see if I can get you a view through the sights. So I've incorporated the wipe into the load. So I'll open this up, remove this wipe. We get powder down the bore, push everything, get started just to the bullet, set that aside for the minute. And I vented this this jag, but I'll wipe this patch on here and sheet everything. So that's our wipe. We'll make sure that powder's seated. Okay, and then we'll go with the paper patch. Seated, and matches our scribe line on the rod. We'll get you set up on the slow-mo. I think we got a little more wind than the first shot. So far, it's a little better than I would have guessed. Great.
I got a old cap in mind that he took a new 7. Okay. Just put them where you want them, and you just dump it over.
The front sight is almost as wide as the target cardboard. And then that circle is about 6.5 inch diameter. Okay, this will be the 4th round. Same load. I might have to narrow that front blade a little bit, but I was dancing all around the white there. I calculated the drop from 100, and I made my sight correction based on the calculation from JBM Ballistics, and I can put that up in the video later. Well, we're back home and we have a result. The you see on the JBM Ballistics calculation, this rifle has a 100-yard zero. That's what I cited these 450 grain paper patch bullets to. And so that's point of aim, point of impact would be there at 100 yards right there. And calculated it give me a 29-inch drop from 100 to 200 yards, plus I added a 3¼ inch for the center. So point of aim, desired point of impact right there in the center. And this is our result. It's about I guess it's, I don't know, maybe a little bit over a 3-minute group. I might have to, when I shoot this again, I'll go with a black dot and I'll paint the cardboard white and see if that helps. But all in all, it was pretty good. That range, the second time I was at that range, and that 200-yard area is fairly narrow with really big hardwoods. It slopes up on both sides, and then there's really tall hardwoods, really big hardwoods that block the wind. So there wasn't a whole lot down at the ground level. You could see there was some once in a while with the naked eye. I couldn't see that ribbon. You can see it in the scope, but that could have accounted for some of these. I'm not sure. It was pretty solid setup. I know now in the future I can go, I can shoot prone there. So I'll be able to get right down on the ground and get a more stable setup. And we'll see if we can shrink this down and get maybe, what would it be? Like a 2-inch group would be 1 minute of angle. So other than that, was pretty happy with it. The best I could find for ballistic coefficient was 0.38 for those 450 grain, and it agrees with this so far. So that worked out. I'll put the dope over, put the adjustment over here. Got a hold of Williams gun sight, and I'm going to get a target, a gib lock. Let me show you here. In the process of cleaning up still. So, but this gib lock screw will come with a target knob, and then I'll have a target knob for the elevation adjustment screw. And then what I did was I depth mic'd. The way I set this and the way I make my adjustments, I depth mic from the top here down to here. I do the math for the sight radius, and I adjust, and that got us this 200-yard zero, and the increase works out to be 0.140 thousandths of an inch increase in the height here. And then on this left side, there's a gap, and I have a feeler stack. Is kind of a quick change. So I have my normal feeler stack is 241 and goes to 381 with the 200-yard. And so all I have to do is set, grab 241 thou worth of feelers, separate them out here, and then I'll put them under here. I'll loosen that screw and move this down until it touches, and then I'll lock the gib screw, and I'll lock the adjustment screw. You don't have to lock this screw, and then the screw on the right. These older Williams sights have this screw over on the right side. That has to be backed off to drop the sight down. But anyway, that's what I got. It's I might have to try to shoot this with the 500 grainers. I know they actually shoot. It seemed like so far that I can tell they're a little more accurate than the 450s. But if I do my part, that you know, in theory, I could shoot. I could shoot out to 200, but hunting. But even in real time through the telescope, we can watch that bullet go, and it takes it a while to get there. So I don't know. 100 yards, zero. Most of my shots are 50 or so, 50 to 80 maybe, and but just having fun. So anyway, any comments, questions, thoughts? What are your experiences shooting these traditional guns out 200 or farther? Let me know. And happy Father's Day. Thanks for stopping by.